Hey guys, it is Parker Cuban here, and today I'm going to have a tutorial on the Kilominx, aka the Shangshao 2x2 Megaminx. So this is a fairly new cube, and I've been kind of waiting on making a tutorial about it, but I never really got to doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and be doing that right now. And for this tutorial, I'm only going to be requiring you to know how to solve a regular 3x3 to understand some sort of notation such as up, right, and this is going to be down. This would be left, but we're not even going to use that. But and also to have like a basic understanding of how to turn the cube and how the pieces kind of work. So that's kind of similar, except that this has 12 sides. Rubik's cube has 6. They're fairly similar. It has 5 corners at the top, or Rubik's cube has 4 corners at the top. They're fairly similar. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is solve for the first layer. So we're going to use this as my top layer, and we're going to now look for a piece that has white on it, or purple and yellow. So I've found a piece right here that has white and yellow on it. So I'm going to go ahead and move that by doing these moves to get it underneath where I want it to go. And there, it's underneath where it should go, because the white and yellow piece should go right here to connect with this already white and yellow piece, so that we can make a pair. So now what we're going to want to do is hold it so that the pair that we want to go in has white facing us. And it could be this way, it could be this way, it could even be under there, and I'll get to what would happen if it's like that in a second. But what you're going to want to do is have it so you turn that way, bring the pair down where you want to attach it to, turn this back up, and you can turn it up. And as you can see, you have successfully attached these two pieces, and they're in the correct position. So now what we're going to want to do is look for a piece that is white and blue on it, and I found a piece right here that has white and blue on it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn it underneath where it needs to go. And okay, so as you can see, it's underneath where it's supposed to go, but the white is face down. And what this means is that this is not turned the correct way so that it can be put in its correct position properly. So what I'm going to need to do is rotate it. And what I can do with this, how to do it, is I can just turn this piece like this and turn this piece. And then I can turn, and the piece is there now, and I can turn it back up to where, underneath where it's supposed to go. And as you can see, the white is now in a good position for it to be solved. And I can just turn it that way, bring that down, turn it back, and put it up. Now we have 3 top layer pieces correctly placed. Now what we're going to want to do is find a piece that is white and purple. So here's the piece right here, it's got white and purple on it. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn it so that it is underneath where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to hold it so that the white is facing me. And I'm going to turn it down like that this time. Bring the pair down where I want to connect it to. Turn it back so that they connect, and I can turn it up. And now we have 4 pairs correctly, 4 pieces correctly in the right spot. And now we're just looking for one more white piece, so it's right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it so it's underneath where it's supposed to go, right there. Have this white facing me, turn it like that, bring it down, turn it back so it connects to the pair, and push it back up. And as you can see, the first layer is complete. Okay, so now for the second part, we're basically gonna want to put in all these pieces. Yeah, so we're gonna call that the second layer. This will be the third, and that'll be the fourth layer. So now what we're gonna want to do is look for a piece that has red and green on it. I can have any other color, because it's gonna have 3 colors on the piece, but it just needs to at least have red and green, and it goes there basically. So I found a piece right here actually, it has red and green on it. So red and green, and we're gonna want to go ahead and turn it so that the red and green, it's not the red and green color that attaches with the center that we're going to put it up, like this. So how did I do that so well? Well, I made it so that the non-green and red piece is within this face, right? Touching this center, basically. And I turned it up so that it could attach with its correct, place, and it's in the correct spot now. So now we're going to do, this is in the correct spot. It's not oriented correctly. So basically we need to have it so that the pink piece is in this, connected to this, kind of like that, right? And then you would just be able to turn it up. So how can we do this? Well, I can turn it like this, bring it down. Oh, ooh. So how can we do this? Well, I can turn it this way, because I don't want to mess this pair up, so I'm not going to turn it that way. I can turn it this way, bring this down, and turn it up. And as we can see, by doing that, we have made it so that the pink piece is in there, and we can just turn it up so that it is now attached properly. And now we're going to do this with this piece. So it needs to have blue and yellow on it. And that piece is right here. Okay, so we can just turn it like this. And we want to make it so that the green piece is connected with the center. And I can do that by doing that, bringing it up again, and turning it down again. So now I can turn it up, and now it is in the correct spot. Now what I'm going to do is find the piece with purple and yellow, and it's actually right here, so it just needs to be oriented so that it has the orange piece connecting. I'll do the same thing I did before. Boom, that's in. Now we're looking for a piece with purple and green, and it's this piece right here. We just can turn it like this, except we're turning in a piece that has a connected pair on it. So after we turn it and move it up, we want to make sure that we turn this back so that the pair that we already had connects again. Now it's not in the right spot. Now both of these sides actually have pairs that are correct. So how are we going to solve it, basically? Are we going to orient it in the right spot? Well, we can turn this first and then turn it in and then put it in like that. We can turn it all the way up. And as we can see by doing that, now they are all in the correct spot, oriented correctly. Okay, so now we're going to solve the third layer, which is not the last. Okay, so now we're basically just going to look for a piece that has the dark blue, any dark blue. It just needs to have this color on it, and it goes in that spot. So let's just look around. It should be pretty easy to find, and here it is. So we got to bring it down without disrupting this piece, so we can just turn it like that, turn it away, and bring this piece back up. And as you can see by doing that, the piece is down here. And basically, it's just like the first layer. We want to make it so that the color that goes there is facing us. Turn it away, bring it down, turn it in, and bring it up. So it's just like the first layer, basically, for this third layer. And now we're looking for any piece with the yellow, and it's this piece right here. We turn it down, turn it away, put it back up. And as we can see, now it's at the bottom like it was before. And basically, we just want to put it in, turn it away. And by doing that little quick move, as you can see I did, it is in the correct position. So now we're just going to look for any piece with the purple. That would be right here. We can turn it underneath where it's supposed to go. And as we can see, it's not correct oriented properly. We can turn it away without turning that down first. Turn it twice, bring it up. And as we can see, it is not oriented properly. So we can turn it away like this, have the purple facing us, bring it down, turn it in, put it up. And as we can see, that put that in, the piece in. Now we're just looking for a green piece, dark green, and we found it right here. It's at the bottom. We turn it this way first because we obviously, and then we turn it down, turn it twice instead because it was at the bottom. Now it's oriented correctly. We make it so the green is facing us. We turn it away like from there, boom, boom, boom. It's in. It's just like the first layer. Pretty easy, right? Now it just have one more piece. This is the red piece. We turn it right there. It's underneath. And there. Now we are basically just on the last layer. And yep, I'll be right back. Okay, so now we are on the last layer, which is the fourth layer, I will call it, for the Kilominx / 2x2 Megaminx. And we're only going to use one algorithm in order to place all the pieces in the correct position. So you should know what this means, but if you've ever solved a 3x3, you just want to place it in the correct position. So I'll show you what that means right now. And this piece is placed in the correct position. It is also oriented in the correct position. As you can see, all the pairs are aligned correctly. Now, this piece happens to be placed in the correct position, but it's not oriented correctly. But you can tell if you just twisted the piece, it would basically be oriented correctly. Now, same with all the other pieces. These are all placed correctly. This is placed correctly and oriented correctly, and this is also placed correctly. But that's not normal, okay? That's not normally going to happen. So what I'm going to show you is how to get to this spot. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're basically just going to use one algorithm in order to have it so that we have all the pieces in the correct spot. And basically, what this algorithm does before I show it to you is it switches these two pieces and it switches these two pieces. Okay, and it keeps this piece in the same position. So with that knowledge, we basically have one piece in the correct spot, and we want to make it so that a cube only has one in the correct spot. So this one has none in the correct spot right there. Turn it again, none in the correct spot. Turn it again, now it has two in the correct spot. So we can only have it so there's only like two in the correct spot. So we're just going to turn it so any direction, any way, and we're going to do this algorithm that switches these two and these two and keeps us the same. So it's R, U, R prime, up, R, U prime 2, and R prime. And as you can see, these two did switch, these two switched, and this stayed the same. Okay, as you can see, we have it at a point where one piece is in the correct position. This piece needs to be switched with this piece. These two need to be switched, and these two also need to be switched. So if you guys can see that, right? Yeah. Okay. So now we basically hold so that one's right over there. We do the same algorithm we did before. R, U, R prime, U, R, U prime 2, R prime. And as you can see, now they are all placed in the correct position, except they're not all oriented in the correct position. So I'll show you how to do that right now. Basically, it's this quick little algorithm. It goes like this. You want to make it so that, by the way, you want to make it so that the one that you are going to orient, so these three actually are all oriented correctly, but you want to make it so that the one that is not, that you're going to solve for, is in this position right here. So it's right there. And you want to do this quick little algorithm. R prime, D prime, R, oh my, R, D. Keep doing that. And as we can see, we will stop when it is in the correct spot. We will turn it the top face so that the next piece that needs to be put in correctly is in that same slot. And we just continue to do R prime, D prime, R, D. And once it is like that, you should just be able to turn this so it is in the correct spot and this in the correct spot. So these might be jumbled up, these two faces, but they don't affect each other. So you can just turn it so that they are all correct. And there we go. So the Kilominx is now solved. I hope this helped. If you're having any trouble, I may make a trouble video because I don't know if this was so like a complete tutorial, honestly. I'm pretty sure it was, but if there's anything I didn't mention, just ask. in the comments, and I'll make a video about it probably, or just reply to you about it. So that'll be it for this video. Like, subscribe, comment for more, and as always, have a nice day.